Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Neo. In this video, we are working on another return client. Her previous set is filmed and on my channel, so I will link that in the cards. It was that really fun summer half French with the yellow and the corally pink and the silver glitter sugar on top, so definitely check that out. These nails came out really good and they lasted fairly well. I don't know what happened to the footage, but I definitely thought I was filming, but I wasn't. So I actually went in and removed the acrylic on some of the nails, and some of them were just, too compromised. I filed a little too hard, so I just went in and removed them all the way down and replaced the tips altogether. So on a few of these fingers, like this one, I think her ring finger, I'm not sure, but I am just redoing that clear acrylic layer like I normally do. I started off with just dehydrating and adding a thin coat of the Young Nails Protein Bond as my primer. I'm still trying out just using Protein Bond as a primer instead of adding 2 coats of Protein Bond and a primer. So we'll see. We'll definitely see when these clients come back, if it makes a big difference or anything like that. But I'm just going in with my clear acrylic. The clear acrylic that I'm using is new. I got it recently. This is the Valentino Crystal Clear, and it's definitely different. It sets a lot faster than the Young Nails Core Clear, and it has a different texture. So it's not that really fine texture that you normally see with acrylic. It's more of a sugary texture. It kind of reminds me of the red acrylics crystal clear. That was like the clearest acrylic I think I've ever used in my life, but that one was like, it looked like sugar. It was like really thick chunkier crystals of acrylic. This Valentino Crystal Clear is kind of like in between the red acrylics crystal clear and Young Nails Core Clear, but it sets so much faster. So as you can see, I'm just modifying how I place those beads, kind of dragging them down and then just quickly working that product down the length of the tip. Again, the reason why I like to lay this clear acrylic layer is that it just acts as a nice foundation to the nail before I start doing any designs. I don't like to add colored acrylic directly onto the client's nails because most of my clients don't, soak off. They come in, I file down for a redesign and then build up on top of it. So to avoid, damaging the client's nails or potentially hurting them in the removal, I like to add that clear layer because it just acts as a barrier and gives me the best, possible adhesion with that crystal clear acrylic. The color of the day, this is another Valentino set. Okay, I'm making use of these new products, which is cool. This is Perfect Nude by Valentino, and every single nail is going to get a coat of this acrylic. I will not be clear capping, so I will be building up for structure here, and I'm doing my best to just fold over that piece of acrylic over the tip. I'm trying my best to keep the product in the center of the nail and build up the apex where necessary. This pinky is so tiny. I say it to her all the time. Her pinky is so small. Like, look at her pinky width compared to my brush. I'm using a size 14. Her pinky is incredibly small. So doing my best to just build up the apex where necessary, and then just making sure to apply, careful beads. I'm not flooding the cuticle and sidewall area, tilting the finger downwards, just things like that. There's not much to say. This set was really, really exciting and just a little challenging just because it was just so involved. She was really clear and specific about what she was wanting on each finger, and if you saw in the thumbnail, it's a lot going on. So this acrylic part was like the least of my worries, but it was a labor of love and she left loving her nails, so it made me really happy. But yep, we're just adding a nice coat of Perfect Nude on all of the nails. After my acrylic, I like to go in with my e-filing. So I'm using this is a fine carbide bit, and it's not a narrow, it's really large. So you can definitely see how big that bit is compared to her actual pinky. It's so freaking tiny, it's so funny. And I'm just using this bit to smooth the surface of the nail. Occasionally you'll see me run my thumb down the length of the nail to see if I can feel any lumps and bumps. I'm debulking where necessary. So if I have like a lot of product in one area, if I can feel like a little hump anywhere, I can use that bit to kind of shave it down so that the nail is nice and smooth and the appearance is great, because we're gonna do a lot of hand painting. We want these nails to be like buttery smooth. I'm also cleaning up the cuticle and sidewall area, being very, very careful because it's not a safety bit that I'm using. I just prefer it that way. I can get really tight up in those corners, but I'm always careful. My speed on my e-file, I'm using a Coupa Me file. I do have an unboxing video that I filmed when I got it maybe 4 months ago at this point. So I think I have an idea of like how the e-file works and everything like that, but I think maybe I should film another or an updated review of the e-file. Maybe I'll do that. I will do that. But yeah, I'm just using my Coupa Me file at a medium to high speed, being very careful not to lose control of the bit. I am squeezing the client's nails. There you go. You saw me swipe my thumb down the length of the nail. If I feel anything or ridges or lumps or bumps, then I just go in with that e-file and try to smooth things out. I like to go up around the right side, around that cuticle area, cleaning up any product that might be touching the skin, and then down the left side. Sometimes even under the tip of the free edge. Sometimes when I'm applying acrylic, when I fold that acrylic over that free edge, sometimes little bits or ridges of acrylic get stuck there. So also doing that as well. But for the most part, we're just smoothing these nails down. after going in with my hand file, not my hand file, my e-file, I like to then go in with my hand file. Because these nails were a little bit tougher and longer, I'm going in with an 80/80 grit. I just wanted to make sure that these nails had a really sharp shape because of the hand designing that we're going to do is so distinctive. I just wanted to make sure that the shape was A1. So I'm going in with my 80/80, making sure that the side walls are nice and clean, making sure we got that nice long coffin shape for her nail. Look at how tiny this pinky is. It's insane. And then making sure that the free edge is nice and square for that beautiful coffin shape that we're going in. Sorry that the video is a little bit out of frame. I don't know what happened when I placed my camera at the top. I think I rotated the mount a tiny bit too much, so it's showing a little bit more forward than it is. I usually like it to face like straight down. That way we can see the full table, and then I can just kind of, you know, zoom in or zoom out or crop, whatever. But I think I angled the camera so you can see like the top of her hand, but you get the idea. We're just filing. It's the same filing method that I use all the time. I like to go on the side walls, kind of sweeping from underneath the tip around to the side and filing to make sure that we have a nice shape there. And then on that free edge, I love doing that up and down motion, but it is very important, especially with the nail this long, to squeeze the finger if you're going to do that. I like to place my ring and pinky under that free edge, especially if it's really long nail, and then swipe up and down with that hand file. I'm confusing my files today. With my hand file. And doing that, I feel like I just get a really nice perpendicular file. Look at me using math terms. And it just gives me a really nice sharp shape. So that's pretty much what I'm doing here. So I did send the client to wash her hands, but even afterwards, I do like to do this. We have a nice, beautiful, sharp application. I'm spraying her down with alcohol and giving her a quick brush with my manicure brush to remove any dust, debris, to dehydrate the nail, and to get rid of any acrylic that might be like on her skin or anything like that. If you can see, we've got tons of gel polishes all over the table. Like, the table was filled when I was doing this set. It was so many different colors. We actually mixed so many colors. This blue here, I didn't even want to while editing the video list all of the products because we did so much custom mixing, so I'm not even gonna bother. But this blue is a custom mix, and we are doing French nails on all of the nails, so it was just a labor of love, taking my time. As you saw, I like to draw that line down the center of the nail so I can get that point where I want the tip of that nail bed area to be, and then I use my long striper brush. And I love these brushes. I talk about them so much on my channel. Please get these brushes, right? They give you such a variety. I am fairly new to nails. I've only been doing nails about a year, a few months after a year now, and I use these brushes so much. They've been, I think, one of my most valued purchases since becoming a nail tech. They're just really, really great and affordable, and they just help get the job done. So I'm using this uber long, as you can see, striping brush, and the easiest way to do this is just to let the brush do the work for you. As you can see, I'm not using very much of my wrist. I'm kind of just letting the brush whirl on the nail. I don't know if that makes sense, but as you can see, I slide the body of the brush and just slide my hand down, and the brush kind of curves and does its thing. And I'm going from side to side, so I never do one whole side and then the other. I like to go back and forth so that we don't taper the nail bed area in one direction versus the other, but nothing crazy. Also, make sure you are wiping your sidewalls when doing designs like this that are heavy on the hand painting. We do not want to warp that beautiful shape that we've spent so much time filing. And then after this blue is done, I'm going to have her cure for 30 seconds. So on this nail, she requested clouds, and we actually did 3 different versions of clouds. At first I pulled out my Q-tips and did some fluffy, clouds, but she said, no, I want them to be a little bit more solid. And then I did clouds with my dotting tool, but they were facing the other direction, as in when she looks at her nails, she sees the clouds facing her, but then she wanted them to be facing us, the audience, or people who look at her nail. So we wiped it off and did it again. So this is our 3rd time doing the clouds on this finger, and I'm just using a dotting tool. Honestly, it was so simple and fun. It was really, really easy, and we got a cloud effect. It was making me think The Simpsons. I don't know, that's what I get when I look at this set. But this nail is just going to be blue with a little bit of clouds, and then I'm gonna have her cure again for 30 seconds. This finger will be done. On the pinky, again, we're doing another French, so I draw that center line to where I want that almondy nail bed shape to be, and then I'm drawing from one side wall to the other, slowly tapering in towards the free edge. I'm just going to use a big brush to kind of fill that in, because using this liner brush to fill in the nail would just take forever. And yeah, we're just going to slowly build that nail bed shape. You're gonna see me swipe my finger down the back of this nail, and doing that, you're gonna see how much product I end up removing. There you go. If you don't, honestly, with all the hand painting that I'm doing, you're going to warp your shape, and we want a nice crisp shape, especially after all the hard work. I'm going in with a black gel polish now, and we're gonna be doing some yin yang nails on this one. So I did the French and white first, just because white is easier to cover than covering black with white. And then I'm gonna be drawing half of the nail in black, and then doing the yin yang swirl over the free edge and at the tip of that nail bed area. So you saw I did the sidewall in black, and then I'm taking my time. I'm using a slightly shorter brush here because I don't need so much length, and I didn't like it. I felt like it went over a little too far. So that's also a benefit of doing the white first. You don't have to worry about having to erase that. And then I'm just gonna go back in with the black and just make that little swirl piece a little less covering of that left side of the nail, and boom, we've got our yin yang. I'm gonna fill that black side in and then have her cure for another 30 seconds, but you can't forget the dot. So the beautiful thing about this brush set that I'm always talking about is that they come with dotting tools on the other side. So it definitely helped in this case. I just flip that brush over and stick it in that black gel paint and add a dot right on that white side to get a nice, beautiful yang or yin. I'm not sure which side it is, but you're gonna see what I mean right now. Next nail is getting a light pink. This is another custom pink color. So man, I worked so hard for this set. But this is another custom pink French. We're doing, all of the nails are going to get that French treatment with a little bit of designs on it. So we're going in with this soft, custom baby pink kind of French color. I'm taking my time building that nail bed. I'm going to clean the sidewalls and then have her cure for 30 seconds to lock this down. And on top of this pink French, we are going to be doing some cherry work. So I'm taking my dotting tool. It's a little bit smaller. I just picked up a different brush from that set. And I'm just using these dotting tools to just add some daubs of red gel paint right around the nail. I'm trying to do them in clusters of 2 and to change the direction of where they're kind of leaning. Then we used a custom green mix. So it was like a lime green, but it was too like neon-y. Then I used like a regular green and it was a little too dark. So I actually just used the lime green and added a tiny bit of black, and we got this really cool color. And I'm just drawing some wishbone stems on the little pairs of dots and trying to make sure that the wishbones don't go in the same direction. I kind of want it to be varying a little bit all over. It's such a small detail, but it really is cute. Honestly, when the set was done, in my head I was thinking it would have been so cute if I used red rhinestones over those cherries. Like, that would have been really cool, but we did not do that. Next nail is getting a red treatment, and I think this is one of my favorite nails. I think the clouds nail was my favorite, and then this one was like close second, like really, really strong runner up. So we're doing another French. This is happening with a candy red gel polish, and this is from iGel Beauty. I did not custom mix this, so I can tell you it's called Candy Apple Red. Definitely check out iGel Beauty. They're so affordable, and the only reason why I have all of these gel polishes is because when I started with my nail tech career, I went to iGel Beauty and bought almost everything that I could, almost all of the gel polish colors. It's so fantastic, and it was so affordable, and it's great because when I have clients that come in like this, I can accommodate them. So it's just best to not focus on buying the most expensive products right away and just get things that work for you, right? Work for what you need. Look at me, I'm always talking about this brush set, and it costs like $6 or $7. I think it's the most valuable thing that I own in terms of nail and nail art and stuff like that. So just drawing another French. You see I removed a crap ton of excess gel on those sidewalls. Clean your sidewalls before curing, and then I lock that down. Going back to my cherries now, I'm just going in with a really, really tiny, you can see the difference in the length of this brush as well from the same set, and just adding those little highlights or catch lights of white on the cherries in different directions, just adding a little bit more dimension to those nails. And I'm gonna have her cure for like 5 seconds, just a flash cure to lock that down. Back to the red nail. So she wanted a flame on this nail, and I was saying like, oh my goodness, I've been doing flames so much lately. This is another brush, but it's a little bit crooked, so I made it work. I'm going to be drawing a flame in white gel paint. It's going to be really, really cool. It's going to end up in this really neon, cool ombre effect from orange to yellow, but I'm going to be doing that with pigment. So in order to get the pigment to stick, I wiped down the nail with alcohol so that the red was not sticky. Then I'm going in with this white gel paint from iGel Beauty, and I'm just going to draw a really, really cool flame. The thing with flames is kind of like to use a very light hand and to draw like weird. So like if you're doing a little wiggle, right, you want to make the bottom part of the wiggle wider and kind of curvier. I don't know how to describe it, but that area right there at the bottom of this little wiggle, right, I'm going to make it thick, and then it's going to taper to a small wiggle towards the top. Like, I think that's how the flames I've been doing have come out, you know, kind of cool or whatever, but I don't know, do your own thing, but that's how I kind of in my head think, okay, this is how the flame is gonna look or whatever. So I'm just gonna draw this flame only on the French part of the nail. She was very adamant about not having that flame cover the nail bed, and then I'm gonna have her cure for 30 seconds to lock that down. The thumb is going to get this neon, when I say highlighter yellow, it's like legit highlighter yellow ink. Gel polish as the French on the thumb. This is the finger that we were kind of like stumped on. I had some ideas, but she just wasn't sure what she wanted, and we ended up with this really cool like abstract swirl design that's been like really popular since the spring has started. But we're just building another French area with this neon yellow, and I'm gonna do 2 coats of it because it's a little bit sheer being neon and we wanted that full impact. I'm gonna have her cure for 30 seconds in between both coats. Now that that white gel is cured, I'm going in with these really cool neon pigments. I've been using the pigments a lot. I feel like it's such a cool thing to use. It's really, really creative, and you can just get wild with it, right? Because it only sticks to what you want it to. So I went in with the yellow first, and then I went in with the dark orange first before the middle orange, because I wanted to make sure that that tip was really, really bright and vivid. And then I'm going back and forth with each color to kind of blend that ombre, and look at the beautiful flame that we ended up with. Super, super cool. Last nail that we're dealing with is the thumb. Like I mentioned, we're going in with this neon green, and we're just drawing some random swirls. We're gonna do a few swirls alternating between the green and the white, curing in between so that they don't bleed one into the other. Last thing for me to do besides admiring all that hard work is to glossy top coat. So I'm using the Not Polish Gloss It top coat. This top coat is fantastic. I don't know where I've been. I've completely been under a rock, but I'm really loving it. It's so thick and just luscious. I don't even know. I haven't tried the matte it yet. I'm still waiting for a client that would enjoy a matte nail. Maybe tomorrow. I have a client tomorrow. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't tried the matte it yet, but the gloss it is fantastic. I'm definitely going to stock up on this one, and I'm going to have her cure for a full 60 seconds after cleaning her sidewalls. This is what the set ended up looking like. It's so cool and dynamic, and I really, really appreciate having clients that come in and want these out, you know, out of the ordinary type of nails. Let me know which one is your favorite. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you like, subscribe for more. I'm doing what I can. I love these nails so much. They were so time consuming, but they came out so fun and great. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.